I'm Richard from EnvisionSelfHealing.com, and in this blog I want to talk to you about a postural condition called myopic posture. Now, as the name implies, it's a posture associated with myopia, which is nearsightedness. So I actually believe it's associated with anything with low vision. We call it myopic posture, but it really applies to anyone who can't see well out in the distance. There's actually a posture associated with farsightedness as well, but I'm not going to go into that today. So you can imagine if you don't see, if you're myopic, you're nearsighted, or you have low vision, can't see very well into the distance, or even close up for that matter. Sometimes very often you're craning your neck. That's the first part of the posture. You're craning your neck all the time to see things. That creates a lot of strain in these muscles on the side of the neck, and it even creates TMJ because these muscles are right attached into the back of the jaw here. So craning the neck forward, well, of course, to compensate for that, instead of leaning forward like this all the time, your body does this. And so now your chest is going back, your head's going forward. So, and your shoulders start rolling forward too. So then you've got your upper back going back and creating a hump, which is called kyphosis. This is what this is called. It's called kyphosis. So now your upper back's going back, your head's going forward, and to compensate for the upper back going back, you push your hips forward. And you're straining the hip flexors here, the psoas and other hip flexors here. You're kind of hanging on them, hanging your hips forward on them. And you're tightening up your hamstrings and locking your knees, all to keep this posture going. So it's sort of like a bunch of cubes laid on top of it that have been skewed off. In order to make it all balanced, everything has to shift front and back. So anyway, so we've got this locked knees, hamstrings tight, hips being tight here. Then you're creating strain on your lower back, creating a little lordosis, what it's called here, sway back, kyphosis in the top, hump in the back, shoulders forward, head forward, strain on the neck. That's the effect of having myopia, nearsightedness, or any other low vision visual condition where you can't see in the distance. All of this is bad for you. It's all creating strain, tightness here, shoulders going forward, the back is strained, the lower back is strained, the hips are tight here, and the hamstrings are tight. So what do we do about it? It's a big deal. It's a lot of work. So maybe the first, starting at the top, there's the classic instruction of imagining a string at the top of your head, extending skyward and holding you up, pulling you up. So it gives you a sense of elevation, your spine gets longer. That's sort of the simple first thing to do. Starting at the other end, you can develop your glutes, your butt muscles here, to give you a stronger base. So often people with a myopic posture have weak glutes. So if you can develop those in a gym or doing exercises on your own, then you're going to have a stronger base from which to stand. Working our way up from the glutes, there's a band of sort of a girdle-like muscle around here called the transverse abdominis. The best I can tell you is go get a trainer in a gym and ask them how to develop your transverse abdominis, or look it up. Maybe you could look it up on the web and look for exercises that develop the transverse abdominis. This is your rectus abdominis, the six-pack muscles here. Not that helpful for a posture, I hate to tell you. They look good, but the transverse is what's really doing a lot of the work. It's like a girdle around you. So, developing your butt, transverse abdominis, string to the top. Now, in terms of the kyphosis in the back here, it's really hard to get rid of. It's going to take years probably. But you're going to want to, doing shoulder rotations, anything to loosen up your shoulders. And then eventually you're going to be able to feel your shoulder blades moving down. So like your shoulder blades drop down. You don't want to do the military posture of pulling your your shoulders back forcefully. You want to just sort of let them loose and the shoulder blades drop down. And then eventually you're going to want to have your chest a little more forward, so you're getting rid of that forward chest movement as well. And try and keep your head back. Try to keep the chin like this, back, string up. It's a lot of stuff. But it's really going to pay off because you're going to get better circulation to your head and eyes. If you have vision problems, this is going to help. It's also going to help any kind of back problems you're having, neck problems, shoulder problems, hip problems, hamstring problems. So that's a general overview of the problem and some of the solutions. And give it a shot. You might have to get a trainer to figure some of this out. A massage therapist could also help you figure out some of this. We could obviously help you as well. We can do consultations. So hope this helps, and see for yourself.